Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're here with another Reddit horror story. Before we start, please like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me a lot. This happened in the state of Assam, near a river that locals both respect and fear, the Brahmaputra, one of the oldest and most sacred rivers in India. People believe its waters carry souls toward peace. Every year families come here to perform the final ritual for their loved ones. They bring ashes, they step into the water, and they let the river take the remains away, believing the soul will finally be free. But sometimes not every soul is ready to leave. Sometimes something stays behind. In a small village near the river lived a 15-year-old boy named Mohan. Mohan loved the water. Every afternoon, no matter how strong the current was, he would dive straight into the Brahmaputra. To the villagers, it almost looked impossible, but Mohan could swim across the river in less than 20 minutes. People often gathered just to watch him. Some called him fearless, some called him foolish. But one person was always terrified, his mother. She had already lost her husband years ago. Now Mohan was the only family she had left. Every evening she would beg him, "Please stop swimming in that river. The current is too strong." But Mohan would only smile, pick up his towel and run toward the water. Because to him the river was freedom. What he didn't know was that one day, something in that river would follow him home. One afternoon, a grieving family arrived at the riverbank. They had come to perform the final ritual for their son. His name was Ravi. The family stepped quietly into the water. A small clay pot was opened. Inside it were Ravi's ashes. Slowly they poured them into the river. The grey ashes spread through the current and began drifting away. The family stood there in silence, watching the river carry him away. But that same moment, only a short distance away, Mohan jumped into the water. He began swimming across the river like he had done hundreds of times before. Strong strokes, fast breathing, cutting through the current. But the river was carrying something else now. Something unseen, something unfinished. As Mohan swam forward, the flowing ashes drifted toward him. Tiny grey particles moving silently through the water. And then they touched him, his arms, his shoulders, his chest. But Mohan didn't notice. To him, it was just another swim. A few minutes later, he climbed out of the water, and that's when he noticed something strange. Ash, grey powder, stuck to his skin, on his arms, on his face, on his chest. It almost looked as if he had bathed in ashes. Confused, Mohan frowned, then he laughed. Probably just mud, he thought. He jumped back into the river and washed it all away. The water carried the ash downstream, and within seconds his skin was clean again. Mohan dried himself, put on his clothes and walked back home, completely unaware that something had already followed him out of the river. And that night, the real horror began. Around 1 in the morning, the quiet village suddenly echoed with a scream.
"I want justice."
The voice came from Mohan's house. His mother woke up immediately, her heart pounding. She rushed into his room. "Mohan, what happened?" But the boy sitting on the bed didn't look like her son. His eyes were wide, his breathing heavy, and his face twisted with anger. Before she could even step closer, Mohan suddenly shoved her away. She fell backward in shock. Then he looked at her and spoke in a deep, furious voice, a voice that didn't belong to him.
"Hey, old woman. Take me back to my house."
Mohan's mother froze. Her son had never spoken like this, never. Terrified, she ran outside and called the neighbors. Within minutes, the small house filled with frightened villagers. Everyone stared at Mohan. He was pacing around the room, muttering strange things. His eyes looked empty, as if someone else was staring out through them. One of the elders whispered quietly, "This is not normal." Another man said softly, "We need to take him to the temple. There is only one place that can deal with this." So the next morning they took Mohan to the Kamakhya Temple. But the moment he reached the temple gate, something terrifying happened. As soon as Mohan stepped near the temple entrance, his body suddenly jerked backward, like an invisible hand had pushed him away. The villagers gasped. Mohan began screaming. His body twisted violently. Then suddenly he ran toward a nearby tree and climbed it. In seconds he was hanging upside down from a branch, growling, laughing, throwing stones at the people below, scratching his own skin until it bled. It was no longer a frightened boy, it was something else, something angry, something trapped. Just then, an old sadhu walked into the courtyard. The moment he saw Mohan, his face turned serious. He stepped closer, closed his eyes, and spoke quietly.
This boy is possessed. A spirit has entered his body, and if it is not removed soon, the boy may die.
Mohan's mother fell at the sadhu's feet. Please save my son. He is all I have. The sadhu placed his hand on Mohan's head and began chanting ancient mantras. Slowly, Mohan's body stopped shaking. His breathing slowed. Then suddenly he opened his eyes and spoke again.
I want justice.
The sadhu looked directly at him.
Who are you? What do you want from this boy?
For a moment there was silence. Then the voice answered.
I am Ravi. The day my ashes were immersed in the river, this boy was swimming there. When the ashes touched him, I entered his body because only he could help me get justice.
The sadhu lifted a bowl of holy water. He began chanting louder, sprinkling the water around Mohan. The wind suddenly grew stronger. The air felt heavy, and then with one final scream, the spirit vanished. Ravi was gone. Mohan collapsed to the ground, unconscious. Later, the sadhu explained quietly, when ashes are immersed in the river, the spirit sometimes lingers, and when those ashes touched Mohan, the spirit found a doorway. The villagers stood in silence. Because some mysteries of this world are older than science, and sometimes when the river carries a soul away, it doesn't always go alone. Some villagers still say that on quiet nights, when the Brahmaputra flows slowly under the moonlight, a faint voice can still be heard from the water whispering the same words.
I want justice.
So guys, if you enjoyed this story, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps support the channel and lets me bring you more creepy stories like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with another mysterious story.